everyone. So I'm going to be talking about my PacePath today. So you may be wondering, what is a PacePath? So a PacePath is like your track in college. It's different for everyone, so don't compare yours to someone else's. And you kind of figure it out when you go into UNV 101. And UNV 101 is the course where it's a freshman seminar course to get to know the campus, to get to know like the school, what goes on, different like fields within the school. Like you learn about like financial aid, admissions, CCAR, which is like the volunteering group. You learn about like a ton of different departments. And what's really great about UNV 101 is you're able to learn so much in there, and you're able to have talk to your advisor, because your advisor for first semester is your teacher or your professor for the course. So my PacePath, I'm gonna explain it to y'all. So I'm currently majoring in psychology, double minoring in biology and chemistry along the premedical track. So I kind of have an eclectic mix in there. So what that means is I have a lot of my psychology courses, which is more of your liberal arts courses. I've taken courses such as like gender, race, class, intersectional psychology, health psychology, child psychology, but I also have to take a lot of STEM courses because I'm doing like that pre-med track on top of it. Pre-med track is not necessarily a major, it's more of a track that with prerequisites that you have to follow in order to go to medical school or physician's assistant school, PA school. So that's what I'm also doing. So I've taken like general chemistries, general biologies, I'm taking calculus. Next semester I'm going to be taking organic chemistry 1 and physics 1. So definitely a lot of like personal mix in there because it's my schedule, it's what I want to do. My goal coming out of undergrad is to go to medical school and to pursue psychiatry. I want to be a forensic psychiatrist when I grow up, when I go into the workplace. So I started off as a freshman here at Pace, and at first I was really scared. I just started off with psychology along the pre-medical track. And as I started going through the motions, I started taking courses that I liked. Again, you develop what you like and what you don't like in college. College is all about figuring out what you enjoy and what you maybe not enjoy. But when I started taking my STEM-related courses, I knew that I wanted to continue to pursue it. So I decided to double minor in, again, biology and chemistry because I was already taking those prerequisite classes. Might as well look like super bougie on my diploma. So my freshman year took psychology, then my past sophomore year, I added those courses on top of it. So your PacePath isn't just about the courses that you take. That's a really big factor of it because that's how you're graduating, you're getting a diploma in the end. However, it's also incorporating the different clubs you want to be a part of, research projects, whatever it may be, to holistically look at your college experience. In my UNV class, I remember we had to make a poster board explaining your PacePath, and I was focused a lot on my education, but it also focused on like your career, not only in college, but after college, the clubs that you want to be a part of. So my freshman year, I was very scared to kind of get a part of things just because college was so new to me. Coming from Houston, Texas, all the way to New York City, I was very hesitant to do things, and usually I'm very outgoing, very willing to, do whatever. But in the beginning, it was not hard necessarily, but I definitely was very comfortable just like hanging out with the people I had met and staying in my dorm room and just doing school. But as the year went on, I started to become more involved in certain programs, and then COVID happened, so that kind of stinks. But this past year, I was a sophomore, and I knew I wanted to get more involved than I had been my freshman year. So I joined many more clubs. So I am now a part of Medical Global Intelligent Brigades, which is a healthcare club that helps underdeveloped countries. So my first semester or fall semester of this past year, we helped and did research and volunteered with Honduras, and we focused on like a certain hospital. But it was different. It was definitely a different experience because it was all through Zoom, but I was able to use or get clinical hours and experience, and I was able to kind of consult patients over Zoom. They had like a shadowing day for us, which is really, really cool, and I really appreciated that because that was like the most you could do during COVID. So I did that. I'm a part of Active Minds, which is a psychology club that I definitely recommend students get involved in. There's also I'm also a part of the Pre-Professional Health Society. It's another health club that helps you prepare for medical school or get to know other students who are also trying to go to medical school. They hold seminars, guest speakers, different events. Great club to become a part of if that's what you're interested in. I'm also part of NSLS, which is National Society of Leadership and Success. That's like an honor society club where you volunteer and you meet other students. There's guest speakers, and it's just how to like better yourself for your career, how to network, how to get involved within like different businesses. It's a really great club when you're trying to like meet other people because it's such a large club to be accepted and enrolled in. And then some other things that I also became involved in. So there's like the more clubs that I do. And now I'm on campus, I'm also involved in as a tour guide. I absolutely love being a tour guide at Pace. I've met so many amazing friends there and people that I wouldn't have met if it weren't for the tour guide. It brings in so many different people from so many different majors, and I have a best friend there who is a musical theater major and who is an education major. And since I'm so psychology and STEM related, I wouldn't have met them otherwise. So that was really cool. And I love giving tours to prospective students. I love talking to y'all and getting to know y'all and just trying to help you guys figure out like where you want to go to school. I remember being a senior in college and like touring around and seeing where I want to go. It's a really big deal. So it's a very exciting time for y'all, and I genuinely love doing that. So that's another thing I'm involved in on campus. I also am doing currently in a research lab under my professor Brenner. He is a bio lab professor here at Pace, or a bio lecturer and lab professor here at Pace. So I'm currently doing research under him where you're studying the circumnavigation in plants. So it's kind of how plants move and like the locomotion that they cause when being placed in a certain stimuli. That was probably like a weird explanation, but that's like the best way to explain it. And then I'm also doing volunteering in the Haskins lab, which is a graduate laboratories in our 41 Park Row area. So definitely a lot of things that I'm involved in. Again, your pace path is different for everyone. It's more focused on you and what you want to do and accomplish in college. I definitely recommend getting involved in as much as you can in the beginning. You're going to figure out what you like and dislike, and you'll kind of figure out and go from there. But I'd rather people get involved than not get involved and it be too late. So your pace path, again, focuses on what you're doing in your education path, but also in your extracurriculars such as clubs, research, jobs. I also in the city, speaking of jobs, also in the city, I also nanny. So that's another thing. Your pace path also wants to make sure that you get certain goals accomplished. So a couple goals that I had was I want to have a certain amount of money in my savings when I graduate from college, because I am trying to go to medical school, which is expensive. So that's a lot to take into consideration. And again, everything is about you when it comes to the pace path. And there's so many people to help you. We have advisors, we have career services, we have tutoring services to help you. If you ever stuck with something, or if you don't know where you want to go, or if you don't know what major you want to be, people are here to help you. I hope I was able to explain the pace path a little bit and explain my pace path. If you guys have any questions, I'll leave my Instagram down below. My name is Tour Guide Isabella, and I hope you guys enjoyed.